Good deal. Okay, let's, here's some 4 golf balls. Let's see how our putting stroke is. Okay. What hole do you want to putt to? We can do short, we can do long.
Let's do this short. Let's do this one first, just to make sure that I got the swing the way you want it. I find myself constantly doing this, where I was.
Look, old habits are always hard to break. That's okay.
All right, so I was.
Yep, we're gonna feel weight in our left side. That's beautiful. Okay, now these are gonna be a little faster than you're accustomed to, right? Good putt. Okay, good. So we can see that they're running by about 5 feet, so we're gonna shorten this to 2 and 2. Okay, now this is a difficult putt. You can see how it runs off at the end, right? So before we were to putt this one, you'd also notice like it goes up and then it falls off big time. So we're somewhat putting defensively here, so we're not making we're not making it harder on ourselves, right? So if I was gonna putt this one, I would look at it and go, okay, I see the break, but I also notice that if I hit this too hard, it's gonna go away from me. So my setup would be, and I'd be just like trying to get this to feel like it's just gonna trickle over the front edge. Thanks. Do you notice how far my stroke was? How big my stroke was?
Very small.
Okay, good. Okay, beautiful putt. Great. That's all right. Tell you what, your setup looks amazing. Your eyes are over the golf ball. The setup looks great.
That was the hardest part for me, is keeping my head up above.
That looks great. That looks fantastic. Now, let's putt with a line this time. Did you putt with a line when you were playing?
Yep.
Okay. Did that seem to help?
It did.
Okay, great.
Yep. I was more exactly what I have here. I thought my lines were pretty good, and my speed, I was strong all day.
Okay.
Which is exactly what I'm seeing here.
Did you, okay, so walk me through that big number. Was it out of play driver? Did you already, off the tee box?
Yeah, the big one?
Yeah.
I had a 9 in the last hole.
That's okay.
So I really could have had, yeah, so it was, I didn't hit it bad. I had a really good driver, but it went, and then went in woods on the left.
Okay.
So then I get up, I hit 3 off the tee, hit it in the exact same spot as I hit the first time.
Okay.
And then got up there and hit 5 off the tee, and almost hit it in the exact same spot again, but it stayed out. And then I had a beautiful second shot at a 2-bush, so I thought I was.
Okay, so it was just those 2 drives that cost you 4 penalty strokes, or 3, 2. Okay, so when you hit it in the woods, it was gone. There was no way of going to find it?
No, it wasn't, I mean, it was a really good hit. It was in, we couldn't find it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a crazy snap hook left in the woods. It was just a.
Yeah, it was a well-struck shot. It was just went more left than we wanted, and you hit it twice in a row.
But then I did it again. I almost did it 3 times in a row.
Okay, so that's interesting, because it sounds like you hit the ball really solid all day. Sometimes on the tee box, your tee markers will point you in a certain direction without you really realizing it. Because we're programmed to go in between these 2 tee markers, and they might have been where the far tee marker was here, and then the tee
I
marker
see what you're
behind you
saying.
was back here,
It's
and
so
now all of a
funny.
sudden you're like, all right, I'm lined up with my, because it's not as easy as on the map.
It's so funny you said that because my brother said, he said, dude, I almost stopped you because it looked like you were aiming that way.
Chances are that's exactly what happened. So you also have to, that's when that little intermediate target's so important also. Even when we're driving the golf ball or hitting an iron shot, is it helps you because it's tough. You don't have linear lines on the golf course. So it's tough to line yourself up. At the range, you're on the mat, you're already lining yourself up, whether you know it or not, with the linear square that you're standing on. You're already setting yourself up to be square. So, and it's really easy. But on the golf course, especially if that guy put the tee box in, and it's like this, and it's pointing you left, and the ball and the hole goes
Maybe
right.
that's what it was.
Sounds like that's what happened, and especially if your brother-in-law said that, then also it sounds like you just got caught up
Like,
with.
dude, why didn't you tell me after the first one instead of after?
Well, because he
I hate
wanted to
think
beat
about
you.
it.
That's what happened. But that's fascinating, and those are little things that you don't know yet. And then you start to look at you look at the tee box and you go, well, I want to go there, but this is pointing me there. So then you have to be diligent and disciplined to go, all right, I'm going to go opposite that feeling, and I'm going to start this more right of how I'm looking. And then you would have been fine, and then fascinatingly enough, you would have been 4 shots better.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. This is all part of the learning curve. A lot of times we do not understand that stuff when we start out. We're just like, hey, this is pointing me over here. Okay, here we go. Okay, give me a nice, yeah, just like that. We're gonna try to die these right in front of the hole. We're actually gonna have these just be a rotation short of going in. Beautiful. Really good. Good stroke. Oh, that just squirted left on you a little bit. That one, just the rhythm was a little off on that one. But I like the distance on both sides, but it didn't seem like your transition was as clean as the first two. Oh, great release of that putter head there. Okay, I like those.
Okay, so the setup and everything's good.
Oh, the setup
okay,
looks
good.
beautiful. The setup looks great. Now it's just you being disciplined on like, how far do I need to hit this? And that just comes with time. The more reps we have, the easier it is to start to, your brain just goes, oh, I'm gonna hit it this hard. And sometimes it might take a little bit of time. You know, when the tour guys go to their venues that they're playing, they will spend an absorbent amount of time on the putting green and on the golf course putting to get their speed control. They'll spend a ton of time out there because these they all hit it really well, right? But if they can average 28 putts around, they're probably going to be in pretty good position on Sunday. Oh, great stroke. Great stroke. That looks great. Oh, I love that release of that putter head. Keep doing that feeling. That is so really, really pretty. Hi, baby. Beautiful stroke. Good job, good job. There's a great group. And to be honest, from that distance with this difficult hole, if you made it, I think that would be a bonus. But we're not trying to sabotage ourselves by running it off the green, and now I'm doing my chipping and my putting again, and now all of a sudden there's 3 more shots to get it in the hole. You went from possibly a birdie opportunity to a bogey. And boy, does that really mess with the psyche. You know, that's one of those catastrophic holes that just like can really, really stop a round.
Felt so weird at first being way out above the ball.
Oh,
like
I
that.
bet.
But now the way, you know, when you get used to it,
I bet.
like so many other things, you get used to it and you just stick with it, and
That's the thing. And you know, it's nice when you start to see progress too. That also helps the brain really buy in, if you will. Great putt.
Good putt.
So check this out. Just look how square, look how beautiful that putt is. We don't have a lot of time for that putter to go offline, do we? And it's just, look at that. Look how, and the putter will look like it closes after the ball's gone because of our arc. It looks like the face is going to close a little bit. But that ball rolled beautifully. It just needed a little bit more pace and it was in. A really, really good stroke. Here's what I like, and I don't want to overcomplicate things, but watch how your right hand releases the putter ever so slightly through impact. Look at that. You might not be able to see it. The best putters in the world have just a hair of a release with their right hand through impact, and that helps the ball roll online really well. You do it naturally. See that little right hand just push through? So your shoulders are doing the bulk of it, but your grip pressure is in such a way that you're allowing that right hand to just release that club head just a little bit.
I really worked on that pendulum swing and
Well,
trying
I
to
tell
get
you
the
what,
hands out of it.
Kev, this looks really good. We just got to get, like, again, we got to get reps. We got to get certain conditions that you can learn from, like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that it was that much downhill or this much uphill, or I didn't realize the break was so severe. And then we'll have, excuse me, we'll have golf courses that are built on a mountain, and the hole looks this way, but the mountain's over here, and it actually will break up the hill because of the way the terrain you're living on, or you're playing on. And that's where it gets weird. And then so like, when I played in California, you want to know where Indio was, the town, because it broke that way in certain golf courses. Yeah. So there's like little things you need to understand. Like you need to know where the highest point of that mountain is, or that place is, because the green looks this way, but the whole place you're on is this way. So it might be straight, or it might even break slightly up the hill because of how the bigger picture terrain looks. And it can be really, and then we have Bermuda, which is another animal. You gotta understand grain. We don't have it here in the East, so we don't have to worry about that. But let's say you go on a business trip, you go on to Florida this winter, we gotta do a little crash course on grain, Bermuda. Because our grass here grows straight up, and Bermuda crawls. So the leaves of the grass lay down. So, and it always goes towards water or the sun. So you'll have to realize, so you might have the grain going this way, and that grain's gonna make the ball go left. But then you have a slope going this way, or you have a slope going this way, but you have grain going up the hill. It's gonna be a straight putt. And it's just like, it takes a minute to figure it out.
A lot to think about.
Well, it is, but again, you don't have to worry about it here, but those are the nuances, like different climates, right? So Bermuda's a real hot grass, so that's why it thrives in Florida or Southern California. Well, Southern California is also Poana and Azoysia too. But those are all things, so, but here we have bent, so it's really just like, it sits up.
What do they have at Pinehurst that make those so fast?
Now, I don't know. They might have a bluegrass there that is just cut so short that it's probably not much faster than this. But it probably is, especially with the best players in the world. You're not going to find many greens faster than what you're putting on right now.
Right.
And I'm sure Iron Valley, this time of year, they're gonna have the greens a little longer just for disease purposes.
Yep, for sure.
And traffic possibly.
All right, we do one more round.
Okay. Grip looks great. Did you putt with your glove on?
I did.
It's fine.
That's right.
Just a question. Nicholas putted with it on. A lot of
I
players
didn't think
don't.
about that, do you?
I don't. But that's,
you have
I'm
a
only
feel
doing
about
it probably,
I'm just curious.
I only do it probably because 99% of the players on tour don't. Nicholas did putt with his on. I think back in the day, Palmer did too. But now that I think about it, they had a whole different stroke too. They had a poppier stroke because the grass was not that short. Beautiful. That might have been where I had you aimed.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, no, I sabotage you. You gotta fire your caddy. That's bad. That was really bad. Good stroke. Now let's see if we can match that line up on the putter with the line on the ball. You were slightly to the right. There you go. That's perfect. Okay. Good stroke. A little quick. A little snappy.
Yeah, it wasn't, it didn't have the tempo.
Didn't have the same rhythm as the first two. Good little release there. Good putts. Good putts.
So give me just like a minute, just 2 quick minutes. So I know we can't practice it, but what is the general thing on like a downhill lie?
Okay. So here,
And we'll just do that
stand over here with a wedge. Let's just stand on this. We're not going to make a swing, but we'll stand on this and I'll walk you through it. Or even right here. So this is a downhill lie. Okay. So let's see if the ball stays there. The biggest thing we have to do when we have a downhill line, again, I don't know if the ball's going to stay or not. Perfect. Okay, so we're hitting into the cave there. So go ahead and set up like you normally would. Okay, so normally, perfect. Normally we're going to set up where we feel balanced and our shoulders are going against the terrain. So this shot right here, 9 times out of 10, you're going to hit this fat. Right? Because your right shoulder is closer to the back of the ground than it should be. So set up again. So downhill, we're going to put the ball slightly back in our stance, but we're going to feel like our shoulders are level with the terrain. Then you just make your normal swing. Now, what you have to realize is that ball's going to come out slightly lower. So we may have to use a different club from this yardage than you normally would on a flat lie.
So my shoulders,
You want your shoulders level with the terrain, and then you make your swing.
just like I normally would.
Yep. And you're going to notice the ball's going to come out a little lower, and because we have it back, it may draw a little bit more.
So if I was going up, I'd do the exact same thing. If I was going up, I'd be going back. And
So if I was on this slope and I was going up, I would be more tilted here. And now all of a sudden, you might need another club again because the ball's already going to go higher because of launch angles, because of the terrain. So you would be set up normal, and then you would feel like you're going to, and this one's a little easier. Because this one feels more like driver.
Kind of fight my way
Downhill lies are the hardest
So
one.
I had one at Iron Hill, Iron Valley, where I was, it was more severe than this.
Up or down?
Down.
Okay.
But then it was, so I was down, it was down in like a gully, and then the green was up. And like I was lost. I was like, okay.
Well.
So I hit it and it went like directly into,
So.
then it hit the.
Correct.
On the other side.
Correct. So on that one, how far did you have?
120, 130.
Okay, so.
And again, to your earlier point, if I hit my drive different and I was back 40 yards,
And that, yeah.
I could have been on perfectly flat ground, I could have been happy, and I could have just had a flat shot.
Yeah. So when you have those shots, and this is going to go counterintuitive to some of the things I was telling you to hit, right? So if you have a lie, like, just hop out of the camera there, Kev, so I can just show this. So if you have a lie, like you're like this, and you have an elevated green, okay, and 122 yards, you may have been able to get 9-iron there. But you're gonna have to actually open that face up a little bit because you already have no loft because of how steep that angle is, right? And we have to carry it at least, let's say, 110 yards just to get it up maybe onto that area where it's short of the green, right? So you would actually set up, and let's say we're like this, you would actually set up with more club with an open face and make that same swing. And the ball's gonna come out a little shorter and maybe to the right, but you have to do some finagling there to get that golf ball to go
I'd
there.
have been
Because
better off just hitting a wedge down to the bottom
it's,
and
yes,
chipping up from there.
yes.
As silly as that sounds.
And
but
knowing
I
the
was
course now, you'll never hit it there again on purpose.
Right.
Because Colonial has a perfect hole like that too. It's like 12 maybe. And you have to hit it up on the top of the fairway. And if it goes down, if it gets stuck on the hill, same thing. You have a elevated green that you have to hit to. And if you're on that downslope, plus you have to hit it over water, it's just like, forget it. So you have to be on the tee going, there's no possible way I can hit this club over that hill.
Right, yeah.
Even if I hit it perfect, I can't hit it too far. And that's one of the golden rules with layup is that you have to know that the club you're hitting will never get to the trouble if you're laying up, even if you accidentally pure it.
No, that's such a good point. Because my brother ended up in basically the same spot, and I remember, we're driving out in the car talking about what great drives we were, and then you get out there and you see where it is, and it's like, dude, I would have been better off being
Oh, absolutely. Better off being 160 yards away on a flat lie than 120 with sitting like this. And so if I was on that, I would open my face, and I would feel like I'm gonna literally kind of hit a cut shot
It like you're
or
chopping
a
down
flip
on it.
shot or a lob shot with a 9-iron, hoping I can at least get it over that hill. Even in the best players in the world, that's gonna be a tough shot. And to get it on the green would have been really, really, and you have to practice it. You have to understand how the hands are gonna go through that one.
It did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Hit it solid, line drive, right into the bank.
Yeah.
That's learning.
Yeah, it is, and that's also course management. So if that was a tournament there, I would know in my practice round, I'd be like, well, I cannot hit driver here because it's too dangerous, right? I'm gonna lay up, I'm gonna have an 8-iron or 9-iron or 7-iron in. Who cares? I'm not gonna have this weird, awkward stance where I may hosel it, I may hit it like you did into the hill. Now I have a blind shot up to a green that I can't. Depth perception and distance control is really hard when you can't see where it's going. And then all of a sudden you make a quick double bogey, and it's like, and you didn't do anything wrong, but just hit it too far.
You know that the one on the yard, I forget what number it is because they had us go.
Oh, I have not played there in so long, but
Yeah, but
it's front or back?
It's it's normally the backside. It's the par 5, starts way up at the top, angles down around the quarters on the
Yes, I
left.
do know the hole you're talking about.
So I had a perfect driver. I was like right at the top. I was like, I'm just gonna hit my 3-wood. And I hit a perfect. I was on the green in 2, and then 3-putt.
All right, but hey, I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah, we had nothing to lose, so I was just like, I had a perfect lie, and it just seemed like it was in a great area where I could hit it. And
Okay, so there's a perfect example too of the confidence that you pulled. You're like, one, you weren't fearful as like, I'm gonna mess this up. You were more of the, so this is an interesting concept. What you just said is so important in golf. It's like, I don't care where this goes. I feel like I can make this, and I'm not worried about it spraying, I'm not worried about topping it, I'm not worried about not hitting it well. And then all of a sudden we don't have that extra thought process is like, well geez, I got water right, I got out of bounds left, and I can't be short either. And then all of a sudden that's, you might as well lay out there. But your confidence to be like, I got nothing to lose, let's just see what happens. And you just made a great swing, you didn't try anything more out of yourself, and it's just like perfect.
the best 3-wood I ever hit.
Yeah. So there's a saying when we played on tours, like you have to try hard not to try hard. You have to get out of your own way. You have to be, because you have to play golf if it's the most important thing in your life, but you have to think about the shot that you're hitting that it's not that big a deal. It's the hardest thing to do, especially in competition. Because every shot matters, but you have to play it over like when you were a kid, just going, wherever it goes, it goes. And you just hit it. And it's fascinating.
It's so funny because on that shot I felt that way, but on a lot of other ones I felt like I was overthinking it. So.
Oh, we all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do it. And the best players in the world are blank. That's what I always said about Dustin Johnson. He doesn't think about anything. He's like just dark upstairs. and he's just out there and he's just ripping balls right where it's supposed to go and not worrying about anything. Yeah, and that's the best thought process to have.
This time slot works good for you?
Yeah.
So I did like the next three.
Yeah. I love it.
Okay. And then, will you upload, will that one be uploaded?
I'm gonna do it right now.